You're gonna fly away. Glad you're going my way. I love it when we're cruising together. Music is made for love. Cruising is made for love. I love it when we're cruising together. Music is made for love. Cruising is made for. I love it. We're cruising together. We're cruising together, y'all. What is up, guys? It is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. We're at the Bitcoin block item 920,468. TikTok, next block. Sorry about yesterday. I didn't make a video yesterday because I didn't go outside yesterday. And me and my grandson just had a ball, boy. He tore the house up. But enjoying my time with him. And just real quick, as a public service announcement, two things. One is I will be doing a Fat Sat Friday tomorrow, number one. And number two, there's a guy that got interviewed on Robin Sierra's channel. And it should be coming out tomorrow. I seen it already out on the members only. So if you want to sign up for members only and watch that guy who looks really familiar, you can check that interview out. So we'll see what happens with that, because I already forgot what the guy talked about. But anyways, as you can see from the title, why politics are important and why I talk about them. And if that's what I'm going to call it. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. You know, obviously you guys know that I've changed the style of my channel a little bit. My channel is called Jerry Loves Freedom. And I mostly talked about Bitcoin, but now I incorporate, along with the Bitcoin news that I cover every day, I also cover politics. And I cover it because it's important. It's particularly important to me for several reasons, but it's important to you as well. I mean, there's a plethora of things or ways I can go with on this video and things that I can say, but I'll just keep it nice and simple. All right, I'll give you some personal reasons, and then I'll tell you why it's important to you. Personal reason number one for me personally, all right, is the reason why I talk about politics is because I do not like the modern form of the Democrat Party. Modern mean, well, probably the last, 60 years or so that the Democrat Party has become. And again, it's gradually and slowly, it's like a frog in a pot of boiling water, has been cooking us real slow as Democrats, in particular as a black man. And I don't want to get like too far into that, because I know most of you guys aren't, African Americans or black. So I'll just say this, okay? I'll make it brief. I don't like what the Democrat Party does to black people. I think it is the worst thing for the African American community in America. And I think it's just very, very detrimental, not only to black people, but to society overall and their ideals and stuff like that, all right? As black people. And again, I can go into that, but I'd have to make a whole separate video on that. And if you're familiar with my channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. The second reason is I think the Democrat Party has gone too far left. Okay, it has just gone way too far left, and it's way too crazy. I mean, again, the Democrat, in my personal opinion, for people in general, I just think they have bad policies, and that's okay. We can argue policies, but it's one thing to have bad policies, but it's another thing to flat out make people's lives bad and just absolutely, I would say, go too far as say terrorize their lives. And then the third reason is, and this goes along with number two, is the brainwashing that they do with the arms of the Democrat Party, aka the liberal media. You guys know what they are, right? You got cable. Well, let's go with the non-cable ones first. Let's go with ABC, aka ABC, or another bad company. You got CBS, NBC, nothing but crap. CBS, PBS. You guys know what those stand for. And then you got the cable ones. You got MSNBC, aka MSNBS, MSDNC, or MSCCP. And now they've changed it to, they got a new wing of the network. Now it's MS Now, because they dropped the Peacock. The NBC said, we're far left, but not as crazy as you guys are. You guys are just a YouTube channel at this point. with no facts at all. You're just completely alarming the Democrat Party. And it's called MS now. I call it BS now. And then, of course, we got CNN. You guys know CNN, the Clown News Network, the Crime News Network, the China News Network, the Clinton News Network, the Crime News Network, and my favorite, the Cancel News Network. And they get up there and they're propagandists and they lie to people all the time. And as you see, when I said earlier about people being far left and absolutely terrorizing their lives with the brainwashing and just flat out lies, the manipulation and the brainwashing that they do to people is incredible. Again, I'm all for the marketplace, deciding which ideas are better and everything else. But you have to ask yourself a question of why does the Democrat Party in particular, and I'm not saying Republicans don't lie and Fox News doesn't lie and Newsmax doesn't lie. They're all liars and propagandists, the mainstream media in both sides, but not like the Democrat Party. And that's objectively speaking. Because again, obviously and clearly, I'm more of a, if you looked at both sides, I'm clearly more of a quote unquote conservative or whatever you want to call that. But again, conservatives in my definition and in my book today is a common sense person, right? I look at things from the standpoint of God, family, country, and then of course Bitcoin. And which one of the parties lean towards that better? Right now, it's this version of the Republican Party. Because again, I've always told you, I've told you this last couple of years, I believe the Republican Party is about 75, 80% MAGA, Make America Great Again. And again, I don't agree with everything MAGA does, but when it comes to those four things I named, they line up with me the most. And so when you're going back to the Democrat Party and you're looking at their policies and everything else, it's like, okay, if I'm looking at it from a standpoint of the four things I mentioned, and when I look at it from a country's perspective, I'm going to stop there at the country. Because, God is, and religion is your own thing. But let's just talk about the standpoint of the country. Well, I am all for the Constitution. It still matters. It still matters. And for me, that Declaration of Independence and the men that fought for it, and then once we won the Revolutionary War against King George III and the like, and then the framers made this country the way they did, with the Constitution and the amendments and all that stuff. I'm with that, man. I'm all for what the founding fathers did. These guys were incredible. I liked the decentralization of a country. We're an experiment. We're only 249 and a half years old, about almost. We'll be 250 July 4th, 2026. We'll have our 250th anniversary. And I like what the framers did. I like the three branches of government. I like the decentralization. I like it with no king and no monarch. I like our laws. I love law and order. I just love the way our country is built. I do. And anything that goes against that, I look at it from a standpoint of not red, not blue, but red, white, and blue. I'm a nationalist. I'm a populist, constitutionalist, patriot, veteran. I just love the country, and I want smaller government, and I want more power to the people, and put the hands back into the power of the people, and not the government. That's what I want. Now, do we need a government? Of course we do. We need a government on the federal level. And that's why I say what the Democrat Party is doing today with their own definition of what happened on January, what they're doing is an insurrection. They are trying to overthrow the government, and these people don't believe in democracy. And if they did believe in democracy, then you would see it in their own party. They don't do it. The Democrats on the federal level do not have a democratic process for the most part. You saw what they did to Joe Biden. You saw what they did for Joe Biden in 2020 in Florida and other states. You saw what they did for Kamala Harris when they just appointed her. You saw what they did to Joe Biden in 2024 when they made him drop out. What they did to Bernie Sanders and everything else. These people are not democratic. They're all about Democrat power and control. Anytime you hear them say we're trying to fight for democracy, and again, the United States of America is not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. But we do vote in a democratic national election, or some people might call selection. And the Democrat Party, time and time again, had just done things. And you don't know what I'm talking about, just look at circa the big one in 2020, where somebody got 81 something votes. And I think we all know that, you know what's up with that we can't talk about. And that side of the aisle in particular, and what they did to us the last 4 years with the censorship and everything else, I just think it's very, very important that people understand and know that the control that these people are trying to have us under is mostly from that party. And the agenda that I'm particularly talking about, that I can't talk about on here, I'm not saying some Republicans are not for that, because they are, but let's just say the Democrat Party and the people that are controlling the Democrat Party are with that. And that's why it's important. Now, why is it important to you? Well, if you're a Bitcoiner, which most of you guys are, and you guys like law and order, and you love God, your family, your country, and Bitcoin, then I'm pretty sure that you probably lean towards the other side. Again, you don't have to be a registered Republican, because I'm not. I am not a registered Republican. But again, if you want law and order, you want closed borders, you don't want people to die from fentanyl and from sex you-know-what and child you-know-what and all that stuff, and you care about law and order, again, closed borders, both of them overspend, they do. But the Democrats spend a little bit more. And what they're doing right now with the government shutdown and everything else, again, if you're a sane person in this country and you haven't been brainwashed, because again, there's not a lot of Bitcoiners, in my personal opinion, Bitcoin maxis, that are on the other side. I'm not saying there's not, but there's very few. They're very few, far in between. So that's why it's important. Politics go hand in hand. Like my friend Backpacker says, Bitcoin is politics and politics is Bitcoin. I believe life is Bitcoin. Life is politics, and politics is life in today's world. If you watch my members only video, you'll know what I'm talking about. Again, you can't go anywhere in at least from what I can see from my little area, that something is not getting getting influenced by some kind of political thing. It just all is. Everything is divided. In my 50 years, I've never seen the country this divided, ever. I haven't seen it. Let me know in the comment section if you have. I wasn't around for the 60s, and obviously I wasn't around during the Civil War, but those are the only two times I can say we were that divided. I remember as a kid, we were pretty divided with Jimmy Carter versus Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan. It was a little heated back then, but not like today. Again, the far left is just absolutely nuts. And again, if you don't understand and study politics, and you don't know who to vote for, and you think voting is like the adult version of making a list of Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is real, by the way. Santa Claus is definitely real. Fowler. Definitely real. Then if you don't know what you're voting for, then you're not going to know who rules over you and the laws and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of different things in my area in Las Vegas that if I didn't know who to vote for, on the local level and the state level, and I didn't understand it, especially the federal level as well, I'm just going to be not voting and not, using my voting rights that my ancestors fought for. Also, women, women fought for that, and I think we should all vote. Are some of them rigged? I mean, I think we know the answer to that, but that doesn't mean we can't beat the rigging. And the only way we're going to win this thing, and this is, again, going back to why I talk about politics, is simple. I'm not going to sit here and complain about the problems. We're going to look at the problems, and we're not going to focus on them. We're going to focus on the solutions. How can we fix it? And that's why I talk about it every day. My job is simple, man. I don't talk to people that are on the far left, right? I don't. Now, some of you might say, well, Jerry, if you're not a Republican, why are you not saying far right? I mean, what is far right? Nick Fuentes and them boys? Probably. Some of the Proud Boys, maybe? Probably. Are they a little radical? Sure. I'm not saying they're not. But they're not a problem like the far left. The far left is a problem in our country. It is. These people have been radicalized by different medications, by brainwashing, and also mental illness, and their family and their friends and their surroundings. They're in that bubble. They're in that echo chamber, if you will. So it's my job to point out that it's very difficult to talk to those people. But we have to be the majority. And the majority of what? The majority of sane people in this country to not be Republicans. I'm not talking about that. But be sane people to say, you know what? Enough is enough. We want law and order in our country. We want Bitcoin as the base layer of the money, Satoshi's as the money. We don't want people dying and getting lied to. We want to hold the mainstream media accountable. I'm not saying to shut them down, but again, this is a marketplace of ideas. And if more and more people realize that these people are lying to you, because again, the left-wing media can just say anything they want, especially the black race hustlers like Roland Martin or Roly-Poly Martin and all these race hustlers. Again, that's a particular thing to black people. But just the far left in general, these people can say anything they want. Nobody cares. They just want to tune in to people that are not that smart, again, that are getting brainwashed, that are mentally ill, that are on medications, because you can see these people are unhinged. Just look at some of the interviews you see on TV. I mean, on YouTube videos with different, right-wing guys or girls coming out there and interviewing these people. They don't even know what they're out there protesting about, the No King stuff and all this other stuff. I would dare to say I would have loved to see us do a No King protest against Joe Biden in 2022 or 2023 or 2021, because that would have been a real No King protest. And then left-wingers would come out and ask us questions and we'd actually have the answers to it and be, cognitive and not, Biden deranged or whatever, because there is Trump derangement syndrome in this country. But if we focus on people, again, and the idea, the marketplace of ideas, that we can get more and more people to find the truth and to figure out that these people have lied to you. And again, if you don't think CNN and MSDNC and nothing but crap and all these people are lying to you, then do your own research. Don't be biased. And this is hard when I'm saying this, and I know this. Don't use your own bias to look for your own truth. Just look for the truth objectively. And again, it is hard to be objective. I know that. It's very hard, even for me. But when you look for the truth, there's some things that I love Donald Trump, right? I love Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is not the end all be all. He's not right everything he says. And I try to look objectively at him, even though I love Donald Trump and I appreciate everything he's doing. And I don't want to be like an a-hole and like, oh, I want to nitpick him. But again, some of the stuff he's doing, I'm like, Trump, I love you, man. I appreciate the sacrifices and everything. But I don't agree with that, man. And that's tough. And that takes the swallowing of the pride, right? Because we all want to be right. We never want to be wrong. And most importantly, we don't want to admit when we're wrong. But that's what you got to do. We got to get as many people that are moderate or in the middle or just don't understand to get over to the truth. And again, it's not about registering to be a Republican. It's about looking and understanding the lies. And that way you can find the truth. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, man, despite that nonsense, we still got to stand together and fight together and discover one of the biggest lies, and that's inflation. And that's our monetary system. It is screwed up, boy. That is screwed up. And if you show people the problem and the lies that they've been told to about what inflation is and what the national debt really means and why, again, inflation, quote unquote, inflation, the prices go, quote unquote, up, and you really tell them what the problem is, they'll look for the solution. But fortunately for them, they get a chance to talk to you. You've got the solution to that problem. And if you show them that and point them in the directions of what to use and what to read and what podcast to use, not only will that help them, but it'll also help you make our network stronger and more robust. And if I had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.